So, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds attended the same event as Ghislaine Maxwell in New York City in 2012. It was a Chanel event called the Bijou de Diamant, and it was advertised as an intimate dinner. Blake was one of the people who had the most photos taken of her at the event. She was deeply involved with Chanel at the time. And there were some other very questionable, as well as high-profile people attending this event. I will get into a few of these people who were either involved with some associates of Jeffrey or their family was. But before I do that, I also want to say that Blake Lively was doing some work for the Clinton Foundation in 2015. She was part of this campaign that they had launched. It was called the Not There campaign. It was supposed to help, I guess, increase participation of women and girls. Chrissy Teigen was part of this campaign. I also thought, though, that it would be valuable to talk about some of the other people who were at this Chanel event in 2012. And if you have any friends that work in fashion, they might have told you about some of the stories from fashion. How young people are treated there. Anyway, so there's Rachel Chandler, who was involved with MC² models. If you remember, they were trafficking and recruiting for Jeffrey. MC² was founded by Jean-Luc Brunel, who was a co-conspirator, and he died in prison. I forget, he is dead. But so she was doing work as late as 2017 for them. Keep in mind that Jean-Luc had been kicked out of Europe, and Rachel Chandler was still doing work for them. You can see these were some of the models that she was working with and with MC². Hannah Bronfman was also at this Chanel event. Now, Hannah is now an influencer, but she's part of the family that helped found the billionaire group Mega, along with Les Wexner, who was a huge benefactor to Jeffrey. Part of the intention of this group as well was to set policy for a certain country. You can probably guess it's not the US. And not only that, but of the same family, there was Claire Bronfman, who was heavily involved with a certain S cult called NXIVM. That was very similar to what Jeffrey was doing. It was involved in trafficking and more. So the Bronfman family is quite illustrious. Not surprised that these people came together at this fashion event. But what do you think of all this? I haven't had the chance to look into everyone who was at the event yet. I just kind of pulled some names that I thought were interesting, but there's more to talk about here. Oh, also, I just thought I would talk about briefly, in 2007, a letter that Jeffrey, you-know-who's lawyers wrote in 2007 was claiming that Jeffrey was part of the original group that conceived the Clinton Global Initiative, which is described as a project bringing together a community of global leaders to devise and implement innovative solutions to some of the world's most pressing challenges, according to the letter. This was to help him get off the hook in his case. Now, I can't say that I know if this was 100% accurate or not, but really interesting claim. What do you think of all this?